Yeah.
We are at the co-main event. We have arrived. UFC Bantamweight Championship bout between Aljamain Sterling and T.J. Dillashaw. Former two-time Bantamweight champion, T.J. Dillashaw. This was originally targeted as the main event of UFC 279, but the promotion opted to change plans and move it to this event. Aljamain Sterling, the Funk Master. Aljo, 33-year-old out of Long Island, New York. He's 5'7", 21-3 as a pro. Of his 21 wins, 2 knockouts, 8 submissions, 10 decisions. T.J. Dillashaw. Oh, excuse me. Aljamain Sterling riding a 7-fight win streak coming into this Saturday night. Of course, the fight before his last one, he was losing, but he got to go home with a W and with the title because of a disqualification due to Peter Yan's stupid illegal knee. Either way, Aljo gets to say he has a 7-fight win streak. T.J. Dillashaw, 36-year-old out of California, 5'6", 17-4 as a pro, 8 knockouts, 3 submissions, 6 decisions. He's never been submitted. Aljamain Sterling has never been submitted. T.J. Dillashaw, famously, he popped for EPO, I think blood doping. Kind of if you don't know, somewhat similar to what Lance Armstrong was popped for, and all the cycling world kind of stuff. Excuse me. He served his suspension. What was it? A year, 2 years?
2 years, I believe.
Yeah, I think it was 2.
He came back and he defeated Corey Sandhagen in a very close fight. He took a split decision over Corey, and now he's back in the title picture because he never lost his belt at 135 pounds. If I'm not mistaken,
You are correct.
Yeah.
he did have a loss against Henry Cejudo, but that's because he went down and challenged Cejudo at 125 pounds.
Correct.
So think what you will about T.J. Dillashaw. If you think he's scum, if you think he's a snake, but he was the champion, and he is a fucking electric fighter, and I will always love to watch him throw hands and feet. Mark, give us your take and your pick of this great bantamweight bout.
Okay, Aljamain Sterling is favored. He's minus 175. TJ is plus 145. Maybe a little wider than I thought. That's another one I thought was going to be Pick'em-esque. Yeah. Man, when you walk through these fights like we are, it gives you a little bit of a sense of what it's going to feel like to watch them one after the other, and it's wild.
Yeah.
I love this fight. I love the way that so many people seem to be writing off Aljo as if he's not a worthy champion and a fantastic fighter in this division. I mean, outside of getting caught clean by Marlon Moraes, which happens, this guy has only lost 2 other fights, and they're both by split decision, and arguable split decisions at that. Like, he is incredible. He's been marching through this division for the past 5 years or so. He just 100% beat Petr Yan. I'm not here for these people who still want to argue that Petr Yan won that fight. He did not. Aljo won that fight, and Aljo is the champion. At the same time, as you said, though I'm glad he got stripped because I'm not here for the cheating, no one ever took that belt off TJ either. So this is really the matchup to settle this 135-pound division with some finality here as to who the top dog is, until suddenly Henry Cejudo will then throw his name in the hat and we still won't know who the top dog is. But, yeah, it's a big one. As for the fight, Aljo's going to work his same game. The long kicks, the long strikes. He'll try to grab onto you, trip you, drag you down, eventually hit you with that Aljo backpack. TJ's obviously going to mix it up, at least striking-wise. He's been saying he's going to look to wrestle. I don't know if I actually believe that, but he will surely look to exploit what will be a distinct advantage in speed, in striking skill, in danger and power in the strikes. That's where I think TJ should live in this fight. But Aljo's a big dude. He's going to have a 4-inch reach advantage to lean on, which will help him keep that distance until he wants to close it. And as much as Aljo's not like a great striker, he is a smart striker. He does well to keep the distance, to kind of throw those lunging strikes that he does at times. He uses the kick to keep people off him, uses that long jab that he has. So he does well to control the range. And obviously, if TJ tries to break that range, then he's got to worry about getting clinched up by Aljo. So I do think Aljo is going to be okay on the feet. It's possible that TJ just looks unreal and reminds us all how good he is. It's possible. But I think Aljo's going to be okay. I think he can rely on those type of strikes like I just mentioned, keep TJ a little bit honest, a stinging jab here and there, a teep. And there are going to be times where they are close. And the way TJ fights, I kind of said the same thing about Poirier in the past and was right when he fought Oliveira. TJ is one of these guys who can be too comfortable. He can give his back when he shouldn't. He can look to stand too quick. He's just more comfortable in the grappling department than he should be at times, and I just think these are dangerous habits to have against Aljamain Sterling. So I know it's a bit of a bold pick. I know TJ's never been subbed. I'm going to say Aljo finds it. I think Aljo really announces himself to the world on Saturday and finds the neck. I will say Aljamain Sterling, round 3, rear naked choke.
Nice. Wow, round 3. Okay, Omar with the eyebrows. What's up, buddy?
I think the craziest shit is my pick is also submission round 2 by
Aljo?
rear naked choke. Yes.
Wow.
Rear naked choke specifically. I don't know why. In my head, I do think that Aljamain Sterling has an edge on the ground. I think the one thing about TJ Dillashaw is that he's never really, to me, seemed like somebody who lays and prays and keeps control the way that Aljamain Sterling does. TJ Dillashaw is very much a guy who would take advantage of somebody who is not, who's on the ground, who doesn't have a base, so he could strike, he could throw things, he can land damage, but he's not going to ride you in that specific sense. The other thing that has been evident about TJ Dillashaw is that when his striking is not working, which does happen, his reaction then is to rely on his grappling. Sterling is not going to allow that. I think Sterling's acumen when it comes to the grappling is going to cancel out a lot of the nullifying things that TJ Dillashaw does in moments where he's not comfortable striking. I think we saw a lot of that in the Corey Sandhagen fight when Corey was working long and when Corey was using his distance. TJ Dillashaw was able to close the distance and basically ride his back, throw knees to the thigh, and kind of burn the clock in that situation. That I don't think is going to happen in this case. I do think that if Aljamain Sterling does get him to the ground, I think his backpacking skills are a lot better than TJ's are. I think that body triangle from the back is an absolute savage problem. And I think his hand movements when it comes to him looking for rear naked chokes is second to none. I wouldn't even be surprised if he's able to find something like a calf slicer or even one of those banana splits as well. He's very, very creative on the ground. It's definitely Sterling's bread and butter. So, yes, I go Sterling, round 2, submission. I think it happens early.
I think it happens early. Wow, round 2. You think he gets that backpack? That's what this fight is riding on, is obviously is if Aljo can get the takedown and secure that position and go to work. I could see an Aljo decision taking home that decision victory with a lot of ground time, a lot of control time. I'm going to go with the striking skills of TJ. I think I see TJ continuing to wear the black hat and play the villain and do it well and getting boos. But that doesn't change the fact that he is coming into this fight with, I think, a considerable differential in his favor in striking prowess. Under Dwayne Ludwig, he's just an incredible kickboxer. And I see him getting a unanimous decision victory on Saturday night. 5 rounds of that stuff. That is tough.
Yeah.
Might be a bad pick.
We got our difference.
Yeah, right.
Now, let's see if we have one on the last one.
TJ will always annoy me, though, because Dana White talks about how he took his suspension on the chin and took it like a man and all that stuff. I still feel like he mocks everybody about it.
I agree.
And it drives me absolutely fucking wild. His company name being Clean Juice, I think, is one of the biggest slap in the faces to the whole situation in general. But
that is true. I keep forgetting that. Also, that's a silly thing, man. I heard Aljo say this in an interview. Like and I think he's 100% right. To say that he took his suspension like a man, it's like, but he cheated. Like he knowingly cheated and got caught. He didn't fess up to it himself. It's
sort of like giving credit for somebody who did something fucked up. Like, yeah, I did it. Well, good for you, bud. I'm glad you confessed. Glad you let us know the truth. It's still a cheater, man. It still happened, and who knows how long that was going on. If that was just the only time he got cheated, it brings so many questions into his legacy that just ruin it.